toilet the rest of their lives for $15 an hour, right? There's other work you can do that's not as physically demanding, right? Because cleaning is physically demanding, especially if you have a big building. And so what I found worked well is, and I think that we had, when we sold the company, I actually gave, I think like 5 employees over too. So, that were with me for anywhere from 9 months to a year, which is long in the cleaning space. It's long.
Yeah.
And so really what I found worked is one, you would give them incentive bonuses, right? Like no complaints for X amount of time, good work on inspections. You'll get, a gas card or 50 extra dollars, or you do it consistently. Well, then now you're getting a raise. So, like, let's say you're showing up to work on that time every day, you never miss a day. Now you're getting a 50-cent raise, the next quarter. So you try to give quick rewards, but you then also have to couple that with long-term, mid to long-term goals as well, because you want to be able to keep them like, okay, cool. If I do a really good job, I'm going to have an opportunity to make an extra dollar an hour. Or if I do really well, then I'll have the opportunity to revenue share, which is something I did on accounts. So so I did like revenue shares on some accounts, but basically just little incentives. And then also another thing I would do is my key people who were super reliable, did great work. I would make it a point to take them out every so often for lunch, for dinner, grab a beer with them, have a meal, and just get to know them a little more, not talk about work, just figure out who they are and just take my time to actually talk with them. Whenever they called, I'd answered, even if they weren't on duty, they weren't called, they weren't working or anything. So just being very responsive and going above and beyond. I can be a little too generous sometimes, my wife says. I can't tell you how many times I've paid for my cleaners because their car breaks down. I'm like, no worries. If you're like really in a pinch, I need you. So we can get an Uber. I'll pay for the Uber. You'll get there. I'll pay for the Uber back. And there's been times where I've towed their cars to shops, like I paid for it.
Yeah.
So just those little add-on things, like you just have to be creative and treat your people well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being in the service industry, right? Like your brand and that is your people. So having them care about your customer. If you care about them, they're gonna help care. They're gonna be more likely to care about about the customer. Um,
100%.
so what would you say, aside from keeping the people, scaling your business, what